Mario Kart World is the worst game I've ever played. This game is a dumpster fire. We need to destroy the devs that made this game. Now this is a real thumbnail. How did this one get in here? Now, people have been very vocal about Mario Kart World, and do I believe that it's all just because they hate the game? No, there's other reasons. But I truly do think a good majority of the reason why people hate this so much is out of good intentions. It's simply because they love Mario Kart, and this was a game that they were really hoping was just the next huge thing, especially after waiting so long for the next game. So I do think a lot of these people have good reason to be upset with the game. I gave the game a full review over almost 2 hours where I really dug into the game and what I thought, where I do not hate Mario Kart World. There's a lot of the game that I really love, but there's a lot of the game that I really hate. Hence the thumbnail. But even today, 5 months later, people are still just as upset with this game as they were months ago. Real quick though, before we dive into all the juiciness, we are on the road to 400,000 subscribers and trying to reach just 380K right now. We are super close. We got about 70 new subs the other day, so let's see if we can get over 100 in today's video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you guys love everything Mario Kart. Back to the video. But what makes this so interesting is Nintendo just had their financial briefings for their first 3 months of the Switch 2, and it showed us some immaculate sales for the console. These are the sell-in sales, but Mario Kart World already with almost 10 million units sold, it's freaking insane. This gave it like a 92% attach rate with the Switch 2, meaning that everybody that has a Switch 2, about 92% of them have Mario Kart World, which is crazy. So with the game selling like literal hotcakes, does it matter that people don't like the game? Yeah, I think it matters, and I actually think it kind of hurts it in a little bit, because with all of these sales, for one, yeah, the Switch 2 had bundles with Mario Kart World. Of course it's going to sell this well. Also, it was a day one only Switch 2 exclusive, and it's the first Mario Kart game in 11 years that is original and new, and on top of that, it's Mario Kart. People are going to buy Mario Kart. Like, come on, there's so many reasons why it's selling as good as it is, but, you know, it's selling that well, so we don't have to worry, right? No, I think we should. It's bittersweet because it's great to see a Mario game, of course, selling really well. They always do. It's great to see that, but still, it's also kind of bitter because a game that I think is kind of mediocre in certain areas is selling this well. It makes me mad. But the problem is, this game could have realistically been a 2 out of 10, an absolute poop show, and still would have sold this much, which just kind of doesn't sit right with me. But why are we so mad about this game? I mean, I'm one of them. I'm one of the people that posted multiple videos talking about what's wrong with this game. But I also gave tons of constructive criticism as to how they can fix this game and how this game could be a lot better than it is. My purpose here isn't to sit and come up with solutions. I've done that already. It's also not to sit and blindly hate. I've done that already. But let me talk to you as someone who's talked to a lot of other content creators, who's been in the community, seen lots of comments from diehard Mario Kart fans and even diehard Mario Kart content creators, and I've really dove into it the last couple of months, and after really sitting back and reflecting and jumping on online matches here and there, playing with my friends, and really just soaking this game in enough that I possibly can, I want to be able to talk to you as to why I believe that people hate on this game so much, and why it might be different than any other Mario Kart game to release, and why this one's hated the most so far. I think people are hating so much on this game is just because how painful it is and what it means. When we look at how Nintendo's operating now, development time is taking a lot longer than it used to. I mean, we are now getting like almost 8 to 9 year gaps in between games. You take something like Mario Kart that has 11 years of a gap, which is crazy because Nintendo now is on this trend of, you know, porting over.
Yeah, because Mario Kart like we got like a deluxe version, and then they released an entire DLC, which I know was clowned on a little bit, but I purchased it either way.
For older games and adding tons of DLC, and that's exactly what they did with Mario Kart 8. They ported over that version, added some new things, eventually years later added even more DLC in the booster course pass, adding, you know, an additional like 48 tracks, giving the game a total of 96. So yeah, they just kept pumping that game to continue, even though those tracks that were being added were classic tracks that we've already played before on past Mario Kart games. I think it's simply put, people expected something massive here, something genuinely insane with tons of content. We knew that this game had to be something massive. For it to take 11 years for a new Mario Kart game, we really wanted this to be the next huge thing. All the memories and joyous times that we've spent on Mario Kart 8, We were ready to do that all over again with this next Mario Kart game. And then when this game came out and had the flaws and problems and issues that it did, I think a lot of us now are sitting here thinking, man.
I remember when like they revealed the prices for everything. So I was a Nintendo Switch Online member for almost 3 years at that point, because I mainly played Splatoon stuff, like just like as a casual player, and I was part of the community for a long time. And I still am kind of am. I barely like go and find Splatoon related content. It's like a weird thing for me. And then when they revealed the prices, I was like, time to just get off the online Nintendo Switch membership. And I canceled it because it just wasn't worth it anymore.
We're going to have to wait another decade for the next Mario Kart experience, for them to finally do what they wanted to do, but in a right way this time around. And just thinking about that genuinely makes me nauseous. I'm almost 30 years old. Yeah, it's insane. Now, putting away exaggeration and to be exact, I'm exposing myself. I am exactly 27 years old. I've told you this before. I'm going to do it again, but it's for this example. I'm talking too much. Okay, Mario Kart 8 came out on the Wii U in 2014. That was 11 years ago. I was 16 freaking years old.
I was 9.
When Mario Kart 8 came out on the Wii U. You know what happened since then? Graduated high school. I went to college. I graduated college after 5 years at 2 different colleges. I had a part-time job where I met my first girlfriend for 3 years, and I was with her for those 3 years. Broke up with my girlfriend, found a new girlfriend, started a YouTube channel, made that my full-time job, eventually got engaged and married within 2 years. We got 2 apartments, we got a dog, and we got a new house. That's 11 years of life lived right there. And it's just like, wow. But when you really put it into perspective, man, and think what the next 11 years could look like if Nintendo decides to keep pushing this game. I'm not saying we're going to ever get a Mario Kart World Deluxe Edition eventually for the next console, but what if we do? I mean, clearly, we're...
New Friskies Lil Lickables. Get up close and personal with your cat. Always more to explore.
Still doing that right now. My point is, for a lot of us, I think we're just like, man, are we cooked for a long time now? I mean, when I pointed eventually for the next console, but what if we do? I mean, clearly, we're still doing that right now. My point is, for a lot of us, I think we're just like, man, are we cooked for a long time now? I mean, when I think about the future, I mean, I'll be freaking 40 years old almost. And I know video games aren't everything, and we shouldn't base our lives when the next game is coming out, you know?
Yeah, true. I don't really do that.
I'm just saying, as somebody that really loves Mario Kart and spent so much of my life enjoying Mario Kart from the DS, the Wii, all the way back on Double Dash on the GameCube, it makes me so excited to see what Nintendo's cooking up for the next one, because we normally only get one new one per console. Well, in this case, that wasn't even the case for Mario Kart 8. It was one new game for 2 consoles. And a big problem is, a lot of these flaws are so bad, it's just pretty much made people want to stop playing altogether. They moved on to other games, and they're just not interested in it. And honestly, as much as I think updates could help to improve this game, I don't think these updates are going to be enough to keep people engaged and make people change their minds or opinions on this game all too much. So for a lot of us, it's just like, dang, we're cooked for the next decade potentially. I mean, look at Mario. I mean, 3D Mario hasn't been out since Odyssey, which was 8 years ago. It's going to be pushing 9 years next year. It's like this whole time we waited for the follow-up after Odyssey, and it finally comes out, and it's just this, you know, average experience that just wasn't anywhere near as good as what people hoped it would be. I mean, dude, I think I would just cry if that was the case. But okay, clearly people are upset because they have to wait a while for the next one after this one being so bad. But why are people so upset at this one being so bad? Is it really that bad? And I think for a lot of reasons, yeah. I've been on record saying this, and I'll keep saying this, that the core mechanics of Mario Kart World are some of the cleanest, best mechanics I have ever experienced in a racing game. I can genuinely play the 3-lap tracks all day long, especially if there were tons of them and even more coming in the future. This game could easily carry its weight for years and years to come if they just kept adding more of these tracks. But where the game falls apart truly is that open world. I mean, the game is only...
I mean, it could easily beat Sonic Racing Cross World, so just because of the stunt mechanics. But because a lot of people just don't like the long, the long, like, straight, narrow tracks. Like, in my Sonic Expo video, I played some Mario Kart World in the game room, and hot damn, was it just boring just to drive through it all. Like, I find more pleasure in Sonic Racing Crossroads than Mario Kart World.
5 months old, and I just dread playing the intermission tracks. I mean, I was dreading them after like month 2. I can't imagine how I'm going to be feeling about these things after a year. I mean, like by next year, I'm going to be like sick and tired of this game altogether and not have any interest in coming back. And I don't even have that now. And I'm being serious when I say I think there's things that they could do to save these intermissions, have some type of events that happen on some weekends like Splatoon Splatfest where random things happen in the roadways, or they could just add like Wonder Event style things in the roadways, tons of more obstacles, enemies, just stuff to actually interact with on these straightaways.
True.
But I don't think they're going to do it. It's month 5 and they haven't even hinted at any DLC or updates coming to this game. And I think we can put to rest any new tracks coming to this game simply due to the fact that this game operates on a giant open world system. So unless they have a giant other open world that they add, like a second island or something, I don't see how this is going to be possible. I just think people are upset really simply due to the fact that the game is just so good in some areas but so bad in others, where it just makes the game fall short just because of those decisions. The fact that we have to play a majority of intermission straightaway tracks instead of 3-lap tracks online. There's no other side modes to choose from. Battle mode is a complete bust, and there's only 33-lap tracks, so eventually we're going to even get...
Here's my advice to everyone. Emulate everything Nintendo has.
tired of those. So I think a lot of people might be mad that we have to wait a while for another installment, but I think another reason people are mad just because of the potential this game holds. This game could be one of the coolest, greatest games ever. Like, what other Mario Kart game could you hit something like this? This is just adrenaline straight to the veins. But that's just the problem. You'll go from doing the craziest, wackiest tricks on the coolest tracks that we've ever seen in Mario Kart history to driving to work on a Monday morning. It's like you got this awesome new job that actually gives you free lunch every single day. But one day, it's the most gourmet meal you've ever had, and the next day, it's a piece of fish underneath a roll. No, seriously, what school is this? This is insane. And it just keeps bouncing back between the two, and you're forced to eat both meals. You love the job because it has free lunch, and sometimes you get some of the best lunches ever, like the 3-lap tracks. But in order to enjoy the good lunches, you also have to put up with the bad ones.
That's a good explanation, honestly.
Wouldn't it be awesome if we got to choose where we always got to pick the good lunch every single day? Well, that's all Nintendo would have to do just to get people back on this game in the first place. I'm not saying that's all they need to do to make the game a perfect game. It's still going to have its issues. It's still going to be looked at as...
Okay, that was some crazy tricks there.
But still, I think having a choice would make things so much easier, and the fact that it's been 5 months and Nintendo hasn't done really anything like this just shows that Nintendo doesn't care. And believe it or not, I'm someone who really liked the free roam map. Just driving around and collecting P-switches and doing all those missions was fun, and I spent several hours doing that. I just wish they didn't force that same map into the racetracks as well. If Free Roam's map was its own thing and its own separate mode that wasn't tied to the tracks, oh my gosh, this game would have been a miracle. Because now with every track relying on that open world, Nintendo has kind of locked themselves in a box to not have DLC.
Grab that parking spot is a mission?
Entirely new world, which might take several years for that to happen, and by then people aren't even going to remember what Mario Kart World even was. And I think it's just made people even more mad now when you see what Sakurai's cooking up for Kirby Air Ride.
Like, this game is making me tempted to buy a Switch 2 rather than Mario Kart World, to be honest. Like, I want to play Donkey Kong Bonanza so badly, and also play more Splatoon 3 badly. Without the paid online mode, Nintendo, what were you thinking?
Riders where literally he's done everything and anything that you can possibly do in a racing game, just for something as simple as Kirby Air Riders. He has tons of modes, even a story mode with cutscenes and boss battles and tons of collectibles and customization for your characters and vehicles. I mean, Sakurai has thought of it all, even tons of control customizations, and it feels like Mario Kart World is just as bare basic as you can get. So as much as I am just mixed on the game, where I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's great, I mean, I ended up giving the game a 7 out of 10, which genuinely isn't terrible, but for something like this game, and seeing all the potential left on the table, it absolutely hurts to be able to give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, this game, with all of its potential, should be a 10. I mean, when you look at the mechanics and the stuff that this game does right, there's no reason in the world it shouldn't be a 10 out of 10 racing game. It's just the choices that Nintendo chose, man, and looking at that grim future of possibly another decade wait until the next Mario Kart game just sends shivers down my spine, dude. Who knows? It's still early technically, so maybe Nintendo's planning for a huge content drop and tons of updates for next year. Hopefully it's not paid DLC, or people are really going to lose their minds after this game already being $80 whopping, which is yet again another box that they put themselves in. And when people have other choices, they're just going to move away, like with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which I think is an overall better racing game than Mario Kart World. And that
Thank
game
you.
just feels like more of a complete package. And dude, speaking of complete packages, when I look at what Kirby Air Riders is doing so far in just the 2 directs that we've gotten, it speaks a lot of volumes that Sakurai is going to be cooking with this thing, and I still think it's going to be the best racer this year. But time will tell. Let me know in the comments down below, do you fall in the opinion of Mario Kart World sucks, or are you in opinion that it's just average like I am, or are you in the opinion that it's a great game? Trust me, it's not fun hating on a new Mario Kart game. I really wish things were different, and instead I was praising this game still to this day, but that's just not the case.
I wish I could
Thank
praise
you
the
guys
game
for
as
tuning
well,
in, and have a
honestly.
blessed day. See ya.
But they put that on themselves.